The man in the middle speaks out. Baseball's Andy Pettitte on drugs, cheating, and the truth.
The truth will set you free.
I'm Harry Smith. Also tonight, who said it first?
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Charges including plagiarism fly back and forth the day before another crucial primary. Plus, lawyers in a major class action suit ran off with their money. Now they're finding some justice in the winner's circle.
It is Perlin, the winner of the Preakness.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Good evening. Katie is off tonight. Baseball fans and parents of young athletes were riveted last week by the congressional hearing on drugs in baseball. Legendary pitcher Roger Clemens testified he'd never used steroids or human growth hormone. His former trainer testified Clemens had used both. But the man thought to be the most believable witness wasn't at that hearing. Today, Andy Pettitte spoke from the heart. Kelly Kobiea has the story.
On his first day of spring training, Yankees pitcher Andy Pettitte walked in front of cameras and stood by what he told Congress behind closed doors.
I was under oath, and I went in there and I was just as honest as I could be with the committee.
If true, it would make Roger Clemens, his friend and former teammate, a liar.
You have to tell the truth, and even though the truth hurts sometimes, the truth will set you free, and I think I'm going to be able to sleep a lot better.
Clemens and Pettitte shared a bullpen, World Series wins, and the trainer now at the center of the investigation into steroid use, Brian McNamee. It was McNamee who injected Pettitte with human growth hormone in 2002 in the hopes it would help a nagging elbow injury.
I want to apologize to the New York Yankees and to the Houston Astros organizations. I never want a young person to do what I did.
Pettitte says Roger Clemens did. In a sworn affidavit, Pettitte said, in 1999 or 2000, Roger told me that he had taken human growth hormone, that it helped the body recover. In sworn testimony before Congress last week, Clemens claimed Pettitte got it wrong.
I believe Andy has misheard, Mr. Congressman, on his comments about myself using HGH, which never happened.
Congress wasn't buying Clemens' version.
The person that I believe most is Mr. Pettitte.
Today, Pettitte refused to play the game of he said, he said.
If people think I'm lying, then they should call me a cheater. Do I think I'm a cheater? I don't, because from the bottom of my heart, and God knows my heart, I know why I was doing this. Was it stupid? Yeah, it was stupid.
But Pettitte has his own credibility problem. He first said he only used HGH once in 2002, then told Congress under oath that he had used it twice. He said he kept the second time hidden to protect his father, who had supplied the drug. Harry?
Kelly Kobiea, thanks. To politics now. It's turned into an ugly war of words as we head toward tomorrow's crucial Democratic primary in Wisconsin. Our CBS News count shows Barack Obama has a 76-delegate lead over Hillary Clinton. Jim Axelrod is in Milwaukee. Good evening, Jim.
Well, Harry's close here in Wisconsin. Polls show Barack Obama with a single-digit lead, and that has caused Hillary Clinton to junk her plans to give up and leave the state. Instead, she is staying, and she's taken several sharp shots at her rival.
I think there's a big difference between speeches and solutions.
When you crunch the numbers, Wisconsin might be Clinton's next best shot to stop Obama's momentum. Democrats here are older, less educated, and a majority of their families make less than $75,000. The kind of voters she's relied on. Clinton hopes to turn them out with a line of attack that Obama's all rhetoric and no record.
Don't tell me words don't matter. I have a dream, just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, just words.
Obama's answer to this over the weekend has turned into one of the nastiest back and forths of the race.
We have nothing to fear but fear itself, just words, just speeches.
The lines were first heard in a speech by Massachusetts governor and Obama friend Deval Patrick 2 years ago.
We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
The Clinton campaign said that's plagiarism. Obama aides smacked back by saying Clinton's ripped off Obama's signature line.
I'm fired up. I'm ready to go.
And we are fired up and we are
How's this all playing in Wisconsin? Jessica Canott is a Clinton supporter.
There's more things that are more important, I think. I don't think it's that big of an issue.
At a news conference today, Senator Obama was asked about the just words line. He said Governor Patrick encouraged him to use it, but then in retrospect, Obama probably should have credited Deval Patrick. Harry?
Jim Axelrod in frigid Milwaukee tonight. Thanks. On the Republican side, John McCain picked up a President's Day endorsement from a former president. George H.W. Bush threw his support behind McCain today in Houston and urged conservatives to rally to McCain, calling criticism of him grossly unfair. Now to that massive beef recall. Tonight, school districts all over the country are checking their freezers to see if they have any beef from the Hallmark Westland Packing Company. Yesterday, 143 million pounds was recalled. That's 4 times larger than any other beef recall in history. More than a quarter of it went to school lunch programs. As Bill Whitaker reports, the concern is that some of that beef may have come from sick cows. I should warn you, the pictures may be tough to watch.
This is what prompted the massive recall. These disturbing, grainy images of downer cows, too ill or lame to walk, being brutalized to get them to their feet for inspection and slaughter. The U.S. Department of Agriculture bans downers as unfit for human consumption. Yet in the last 2 years, beef from the California company went to at least 36 states. And even on this holiday, schools across the country are scrambling to clear it from cafeterias.
A lot of ground beef is going to go to waste because of some poor judgment by some folks at a company in California.
The plant has been shut down. 2 workers face jail. Members of Congress want an investigation. Still, the USDA says there's little cause for alarm.
We think there is a remote probability of anybody getting sick from products associated with this recall.
But this horror wasn't uncovered by the USDA. It was an undercover operation by the Humane Society.
It's really outrageous that it took a non-government organization to uncover these abuses. The U.S. Department of Agriculture gets tax dollars to place inspectors on the ground at these plants.
So it's critically important that consumers ask the retailers if ground beef they have is part of the recall.
The USDA says most of the meat already has been consumed, and so far nobody has gotten sick. It's just the images that are so sickening. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
From food safety to toy safety, very much on the minds of toy makers who have gathered in New York City this week for the annual Toy Fair. Last year, more than 25 million toys were recalled, mostly because of lead contamination. It's a big reason why sales dropped by 2% in this country. This time around, the toy makers aren't taking any chances. Here's Nancy Cordes.
Lead may have hounded the toy industry last year, but at the New York Toy Fair, that's not the toxin everyone is talking about.
All of these are phthalate-free.
Phthalates are found in everything from shampoos and lotions to plastic playthings dating back decades. Studies linking phthalates to reproductive birth defects and cancer in lab animals have led to partial bans in California and the European Union, which declared toxic chemicals have no place in children's toys. But the science is far from conclusive.
When in doubt, don't put them in.
New toy makers like Green Toys and Kids Give are trying to reinvent toys without the questionable chemicals.
What parents are asking for is they want to know what's in their toys.
It's a tougher process for established brands like Step 2.
I think we really saw the writing on the wall.
The Ohio-based company decided in September to start phasing out phthalates.
One of the challenges is certainly the cost. I mean, take something like this lamb, it could cost us about 25 cents. That could be a third or a half less if we use phthalates in it.
Phthalates give toys their bend. Without them, this rubber ducky is less squeezable, but potentially more marketable. This one says phthalate-free right on the sticker.
Retail giant Toys R Us just announced it wants to stop selling children's products that contain phthalates, along with nickel-cadmium batteries and PVC vinyl. It's a sign that the industry is taking cues from consumer concerns, even if U.S. government regulators don't deem phthalates harmful.
Obviously, if there's new evidence presented to us, we'll take another look at it.
But after a disappointing sales year, toy makers are well aware it's not just the government they need to satisfy, it's also cautious customers. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, New York.
In western Texas, a huge explosion this morning shook an oil refinery and the entire town where it's located. The blast injured at least 4 people at the Allen USA refinery in Big Spring. The explosion caused a fire and billowing black smoke, forcing police to shut down Interstate 20. One resident said it was like an earthquake. You shook, you were so scared. It's still not known what caused it. Meanwhile, they're picking up the pieces tonight after a series of violent tornadoes ripped through the South. Almost 3 dozen twisters were reported Sunday in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, injuring at least 30 people. Rescue crews went door to door in Prattville, Alabama, looking for people who might be trapped. Nationwide, 155 tornadoes have been reported so far this month. The February average is just 25. And in Illinois, the first funerals were held today for victims of the shooting rampage at Northern Illinois University. At one of them, 20-year-old Catalina Garcia was remembered in a church packed with hundreds of mourners. Police still don't know why the shooter, Stephen Komerzik, opened fire on a class last Thursday, killing 5 students before killing himself. There's more CBS News ahead, including the national treasure that was hidden in plain sight for over a century. Abe Lincoln's summer White House. In Pakistan, they've begun to count ballots from today's parliamentary elections. The vote under tight security came just 6 weeks after the assassination of former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto. Early returns showed opposition parties taking the lead, with 2 allies of President Pervez Musharraf losing their seats. Final results aren't expected until Wednesday. Meanwhile, the U.S. is calling Kosovo an independent sovereign state tonight. Kosovo officially broke away from Serbia Sunday, 9 years after NATO stepped in to stop a brutal war in the former Yugoslavian province. Most Kosovo residents are Albanian, but 100,000 Serbs also live there. Many of them promised to fight. President Bush is on day 3 of his trip to Africa. In northern Tanzania, local Maasai tribes welcomed Mr. and Mrs. Bush today as they visited a school, a hospital, and a factory that makes mosquito nets to protect against malaria. The Bush administration has spent nearly $500 million to fight malaria in Africa and even more in the battle against AIDS. All that spending is saving lives, as Bill Plant reports.
Yeah. How many live here?
In the remotest reaches of the African bush, an American nun from Chicago ministers to AIDS victims. With help from PEPFAR, the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, a $15 billion success story most Americans have never heard of. This year, Sister Diane Dalamol's mission will get $80,000 from PEPFAR.
It's allowing us to hire another nurse, which is a huge thing for us. Yes, it'll help us enormously. What about this?
On this day, Sister Diane is visiting Chalamusa Lukele, who lives alone, far from the clinic. He has AIDS and TB. The drugs from Sister Diane's group are the difference between life and death. 5 years ago, HIV/AIDS was a death sentence in most of Africa. But U.S. funding for clinics like this has given more than 1 million people new life.
She's saying that the baby is not doing well, that her health is not good.
The baby's name is Happiness. She was born HIV positive. Without this clinic in Dar es Salaam, she would be dead. Dr. Rose says Happiness's mother, Teresia, is also HIV positive.
Without the clinic, Teresia condition will be going worse day after day.
The PEPFAR program is one reason President Bush has gotten a hero's welcome here. He wants Congress to double PEPFAR to $30 billion over the next 5 years.
PEPFAR is working. It is a balanced program. It's a program that's been proven effective.
There are dissenters. Some oppose the requirement for abstinence education. Others say the money should go to a broader range of health programs. African leaders are worried.
Let PEPFAR continue. This is a passionate appeal from us.
The headache, huh?
A plea echoed by Dr. Rose and Sister Diane. For those in their care, America's help makes the difference between hope and despair. Bill Plant, CBS News, Dar es Salaam.
Next, history lost and found, a quiet getaway and the important role it played in our history. Finally tonight, the Civil War almost brought an end to the United States. A century and a half ago, Abe Lincoln escaped the pressures of that war at a retreat right in Washington, D.C. And now this hidden treasure will be reopened to the public. Here's Bob Orr.
Tormented by civil war, dogged by political pressures and the oppressive summer heat of 1862, President Abraham Lincoln sought refuge. He found it in this breezy cottage on the grounds of the old Soldiers' Home, just 3 miles, a short horseback ride away from the White House. While it overlooked a cemetery full of Civil War dead, it became Lincoln's summer place, a retreat where the embattled president went to think. Here, Lincoln worked on the Emancipation Proclamation, and it was here he spent 13 months, a full fourth of his presidency.
We have the original furnishes, we have the original woodwork.
Now, Richard Moe of the National Trust for Historic Preservation hopes his 10-year dream to restore this forgotten Lincoln Memorial will inspire.
We believe that place can tell stories. It's one thing to read history, but it's another thing to walk through it and touch it and feel it. It really comes alive in a different kind of way. And that's what happens when you walk through this cottage. Abraham Lincoln comes alive.
In 2 ranks, front! After $15 million and 7 years of work, the old Lincoln Getaway was reopened today. 34 sparsely decorated rooms authentic to the Civil War era and those summer days from 1862 to 1864.
This isn't a traditional museum with velvet ropes and a lot of furniture. This is a museum of ideas, union, freedom, emancipation.
Lincoln, we're told, found comfort at the cottage and at least once dodged danger to get here, surviving a sniper attack that left a hole in his old stovepipe hat. But that's just one of the stories that can now be retold, reclaimed along with this old house, once lost to American history. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
And that's the CBS Evening News for this President's Day. For Katie Couric, I'm Harry Smith. I'll see you in the morning on The Early Show. Good night.